What if I told you there's a group of drugs that can slow your heart, make you sweat, help you urinate, improve memory, and even save your life after poisoning? These are cholinergic agonists, and today you'll master them in minutes. Welcome back. If cholinergic pharmacology feels confusing with direct, indirect, and receptors, don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll understand what cholinergic agonists are, how they work, the important drugs, clinical uses, and toxicity, which is very high yield for exams. First, let's have a brief overview of acetylcholine, an important neurotransmitter. Acetylcholine is synthesized within the nerve terminal from choline and acetyl-CoA. The enzyme choline acetyltransferase catalyzes their combination to form acetylcholine. Choline is primarily obtained from the diet and recycled from synaptic breakdown, while acetyl-CoA is derived from glucose metabolism within mitochondria. Once formed, acetylcholine is packaged into synaptic vesicles and stored until nerve stimulation triggers its release into the synaptic cleft. It then binds to cholinergic receptors to produce its effect and is subsequently broken down by acetylcholinesterase. The released choline is transported back into the neuron to be reused in acetylcholine synthesis. Now let's talk about cholinergic drugs. What does cholinergic mean? Cholinergic drugs are medications that increase the action of acetylcholine. Acetylcholine controls the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest, skeletal muscle contraction, autonomic ganglia, and brain functions like memory. So when we increase acetylcholine, we mainly see parasympathetic effects, slowing things down and increasing secretions. Think slow heart, constricted pupils, more saliva, more urination, and more bowel movement. Let's discuss cholinergic receptors. There are two types of receptors for acetylcholine. First, muscarinic receptors. These are found in organs like the heart, smooth muscle, glands, and eyes. Activation of these receptors leads to decreased heart rate, bronchoconstriction, increased salivation and sweating, increased gastrointestinal motility, bladder contraction, pupil constriction, and accommodation for near vision. Second, nicotinic receptors. These are found in the neuromuscular junction of the skeletal muscle, in the autonomic ganglia, and in the adrenal medulla. These receptors are responsible for muscle contraction and autonomic stimulation. An important pharmacology distinction is that nicotinic receptors are ligand-gated ion channels, while muscarinic receptors are G-protein-coupled receptors. Now let's explore the two types of cholinergic agonists. There are two major categories. First, direct-acting drugs. They bind directly to receptors like acetylcholine. Examples include Bethanechol, Pilocarpine, carbachol, and acetylcholine itself, though it's rarely used. These mainly stimulate muscarinic receptors. Second, indirect-acting drugs, also called anticholinesterases. These drugs don't stimulate receptors directly. Instead, they block the enzyme acetylcholinesterase, which normally breaks down acetylcholine. So acetylcholine increases everywhere. Examples include Neostigmine, Pyridostigmine, Physostigmine, Donepezil, and edrophonium. Let's review the important drugs you must know. First, Bethanechol. It stimulates the bladder and intestines. Uses include urinary retention, neurogenic bladder, and postoperative ileus. Think Bethanechol makes you pee. Next, Pilocarpine. It's a strong stimulator of secretions. Uses include glaucoma, dry mouth, and Sjogren syndrome. Think Pilocarpine produces saliva and tears. Then we have Neostigmine and Pyridostigmine. These increase acetylcholine at the neuromuscular junction. Uses include myasthenia gravis, reversal of neuromuscular blockers, and gastrointestinal and bladder stimulation. Pyridostigmine lasts longer and is used chronically. Physostigmine is very important. It differs because it crosses the blood-brain barrier. Its use is as an antidote for atropine poisoning. Finally, Alzheimer drugs like Donepezil, rivastigmine, and galantamine increase acetylcholine in the brain to improve memory symptoms. Now let's discuss cholinergic toxicity. If acetylcholine becomes too high, we get cholinergic crisis. Symptoms include salivation, sweating, diarrhea, urination, bronchospasm, bradycardia, and muscle twitching progressing to paralysis. You can remember the symptoms with the mnemonic SLUDGE: salivation, lacrimation, urination, diarrhea, GI cramps, and emesis. Organophosphate poisoning is particularly serious. Insecticides and nerve agents permanently block acetylcholinesterase enzymes. This increases acetylcholine and causes a severe cholinergic crisis that can be fatal. For treatment of toxicity, there are two life-saving drugs. First, atropine. It blocks muscarinic receptors, preventing the action of acetylcholine and stopping secretions and bronchospasm. Second, pralidoxime, also called 2-PAM. It regenerates the acetylcholinesterase enzyme, especially for organophosphate poisoning. Supportive care like oxygen may also be needed. Let's make a clinical connection with myasthenia gravis. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disease where nicotinic acetylcholine receptors at the neuromuscular junction are destroyed. The result is muscle weakness. Treatment involves increasing acetylcholine using Pyridostigmine or Neostigmine. More acetylcholine means better stimulation of the remaining receptors and improved strength. If this video helped you understand pharmacology better, make sure to subscribe for more simplified medical concepts. Because pharmacology isn't about memorizing drugs, it's about understanding mechanisms.